Please rise up. Our guests of honors are coming. Let's welcome them. You may take your seats. ክቡራትና ክቡራን እንግዶቻችን የፌደራል ፖሊስ ማርሽ ባንድ የአፍሪካ ህብረትና የኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ መዝሙር ሊያቀርቡልን ስለሆነ ባካችሁ እንነሳ። Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the Ethiopian Federal Police March Band is about to play the anthems of the African Union and the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Please rise up. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. እንደምናደራችሁ እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ. Good morning and welcome. Bonjour and bienvenue. صباح الخير ومرحبا بكم. Habari na karibu. Hola e benvenido. Buenos días y bienvenidos. Your Excellencies, Your Excellency Mufariat Kamil Ahmed, Minister of Labor and Skills of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Ali Yusuf Mohammed, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Professor Gaspard Banyan Kimbona, Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation at the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Professor Saidu Madogo, Director of Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. Special acknowledgement to Excellencies and Honorables, Ministers from the Republic of Mauritania, the Gambia, South Africa, Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, Zambia, and Mozambique, Your Excellencies Ministers, State Ministers, Ambassadors, and Chargés d'Affaires, high officials of government delegates, heads of international and local organizations, all protocol observed, invited distinguished guests, media colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the official opening of the second edition of the Africa Skills Week at the Nelson Mandela Hall here in the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the diplomatic capital of Africa. Good morning once again and welcome. The theme of the Africa Skills Week 2025 is Transforming TVET in Africa, Bridging the Skills Gap for Jobs and Growth, and it will take place from 13th of October, yesterday we started, all the way to Friday 17th of October 2025. My name is Meti Shwaye Yilma, and it's an immense honor and pleasure to be your MC for the entire week. በጣም እናመሰግናለን. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Shukran. Asante sana. Muito obrigado. Muchas gracias. I hope. Thank you. I hope you'll be having an extremely engaging, insightful, and informative week. Because if I tell you something, yesterday we had the Africa Youth Summit, and the day was exactly that. Very engaging, full of partnerships and networks, and enjoyable. And leaders of African nations, I think if I have to summarize what happened yesterday, maybe we might need to revise the Agenda 2063 to Agenda 2043, because the youth of Africa are in the game. The passion, the vision, the purpose, the sense of ownership, and execution level that they showed, well, the future of Africa is not in the future, it's already here. It was such a hopeful day yesterday. So thank you, the Youth of Africa, for giving us an amazing youth summit yesterday. So the key activities that will take place during the week, starting from today will be high-level plenaries, ministerial and private sector roundtables, technical sessions and sectoral panels, skills development marketplace and exhibition, youth and entrepreneurial engagement platforms, CTVET strategy implementation validation, field visits, country-level action to commemorate the week, and we'll have closing and commitment session. So in this premise, we already have put exhibition and knowledge marketplace on skills and innovation, and they're set up in the white tent outside and also in this floor. And so please go visit. I just got my outfit from one of the TVETs here. So before we finish buying, please go and make sure that you finish your money on our entrepreneurs and enterprises. So once again, thank you very much for joining us today. Now, please help me in welcoming Her Excellency Mufariat Kamil Ahmed, Minister of Labor and Skills Ministry, and she will give you the welcoming remark. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Her Excellency to the podium warmly.
Good morning. Ndamna Daracho. Your Excellency Ali Yusuf Mahmoud, Chairperson of the African Union Commission. Your Excellency Professor Gaspard Banyan Kimbona, Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology, and Innovation of the African Union Commission. Honorable Ministers, Your Excellency Professor Gomez Pierre, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency Dr. John Christosom Muyengo, Minister of State for TVET of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Mr. Abdelkader Talib Omar, Minister of Education and Vocation Training, Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, Your Excellency Dr. Mimi Marta Gondwe, Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training of the Republic of South Africa. Honorable parliamentarians, Honorable Kwadio Kwaku Bertin, the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, Honorable Miriam Chonia, the Republic of Zambia, Honorable Abdsalam Horma, the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Honorable Ruth Venancio Mandrate, the Republic of Mozambique, heads of delegation, esteemed leadership from the private sector and development partners, ambassadors, various media house, our skilled interpreters and translators, and warm greetings to entrepreneurs and artisans who are architects of Africa's next chapter, respected colleagues. It's a profound honor and a source of great national pride for the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and my Ministry of Labor and Skills to co-host the Africa Skills Week 2025 right here in the heart of our continent at the very headquarters of our African Union, and welcome to Addis Ababa. I'm delighted that the theme of our gathering, Powering Africa's Industrial Future, Skills for Innovation, Growth, Sustainability, is action-oriented. We are not simply discussing the future. We are here to build foundations that will drive our ambitions and aspirations. For far too long, the narrative about Africa has centered on our potential, namely that of our youthful population and our vast resources. Okay, and good, potential is great, but what is the crucial force that transforms these potentials into economic might, economic empowerment? economic power, I'm certain you all are with me that the crucial and key force is skills. Skills hold the knowledge, the precision, the ingenuity that allows us to move beyond simply extracting raw materials to actually manufacturing our own prosperity. Skills are practical demonstrations of intelligence and will, turning the idea of progress into concrete transformation. Skills, therefore, are the true engine of Agenda 2063 and of our national, continental, and global future. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as your host, Ethiopia understands that the investment on skills development must be comprehensive and inclusive. Our national conceptualization and commitment to TVET is driven by the conviction that every hand and every mind matters. In line with the continental TVET strategy, we are prioritizing practical, demonstrable actions, building on the strong momentum established by our Ghanaian hosts at Africa Skills Week 2024. And now, as we in Ethiopia proudly take in the baton, I believe that our work this week too must be guided by a clear call to action to fundamentally transform our TV systems and prepare Africa's youth for the future of work. The Ministry of Labor and Skills is already responding to the continental as well as global imperatives through concrete steps and initiatives that underscore our commitment to a skills revolution. If I may quickly share, one, we are actively promoting an entrepreneurial TVET culture, shifting the mindset of our youth from job seekers to job creators. We are increasingly integrating business and soft skills, including professional ethics and, most importantly, patriotism across our technical curricula, empowering graduates with the training, mentorship, and access to finance they need to launch their own enterprises and drive growth. Two, recognizing the necessity of a just transition, we are also promoting the greening of TVET and integrating digitalization. Our programs aim to focus on skills for renewable energy, environmental management, and modern digital competencies. The aim is to ensure our workforce is ready for the future of work, preparing them not only for our industrial parks, but also for Africa's sustainable and tech-enabled future. Links between training institutions and is demand-driven. Overhauling our quality continentally. Case in point is our well has achieved improved training, but well-being. Right now, such efforts that cover policy, governance, quality, and partnership are essential. That's why we highly value the essence of platforms such as Africa Skills Week and the resultant inspirations, partnerships, and networks that are critical to align our policy frameworks, guarantee the quality of skills we offer to our citizens. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the challenges of training an entire continent are so immense that we can hardly address them all in one annual or biannual event. You may have noticed that the sub-themes are rich and complex, but let's remember that what we are discussing or debating is not abstract theory. We are discussing how to ensure a young entrepreneur can secure the digital expertise and technical skills to access the AfCFTA marketplace or how a factory can find the green certified technicians needed to transit to sustainable energy. In other words, it's not cliche that skills are the link between policy and paycheck. I'm thus very confident that the outcomes of our dialogues, panels, and roundtable discussions will shape investment priorities in our national, regional, and continental contexts in the realm of skills development and beyond. I thus encourage you all to participate in the field visits. I think we had more to our industrial parks, TVET institutions and training centers, but to the various city corners and corridors. I would like you to witness firsthand how the power of a skilled workforce is transforming our economy and our urban landscape. Excellencies, let me once again reiterate that my ministry is deeply honored to partner with the African Union Commission. Let this week be a turning point where we collectively solidify the place of skills as our continent's greatest competitive advantage in the work to realize the vision of the proposed decade of skills and jobs, 2025 to 2034. Welcome once again to Addis Ababa, which is your home. And let's work with purpose to power Africa's industrial future. And enjoy your stay in Addis Ababa. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Her Excellency Muferiat Kamil Ahmed is the Minister to the Ministry of Labor and Skills of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. And thank you, Madam, for your hard work, for your commitment, and for your great leadership. So now I will invite Professor Gaspard Banyan Kimbona. I believe you will present the continental TVT strategy. Yes. Please welcome His Excellency.
Thank you very much, our MC, Your Excellency Mahmoud Al-Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Muferiat Kamil Ahmed, Minister of Labor and Skills, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Abdelkader Taleb Omar, Minister of Education, Sahrawi Republic, and First Deputy Chairperson of the Special Technical Committee, Honorable Ministers here present, Your Excellency, Ambassadors, Honorable Members of Parliament here present, valued partners, industry leaders, young Africans, I can see you sitting behind there, innovators, distinguished delegates, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, a very good morning to you. Your Excellency Chairperson, Your Excellencies, it's a privilege for me today to present you the Continental TVET Strategy 2025-2034. Your Excellency, in summary, the strategy is a renewed continental framework meant to empower Africa's people with the skills to drive innovation, industrialization, and inclusive growth. The strategy is a blueprint for Africa's future as it places skills at the heart of economic transformation, turning the continent's demographic dividend into a productive, creative, and resilient workforce. You may recall last year in Accra, Ghana, the inaugural Africa Skills Week sent a powerful message to all Africans that skills are the missing link between potential and prosperity. We witnessed government, industry, and young people co-designing solutions from digital apprenticeship to green TVET curricula that are already reshaping labor market. And building on that momentum, this second edition in Addis Ababa must catalyze concrete continental-wide implementation. Why was it important to have a new strategy? A decade ago, the African Union launched the first continental TVET strategy under the second decade of education. While it laid important groundwork, a midterm review revealed persistent gaps. Number one, our TVET systems remained largely supply-driven, disconnected from the dynamic needs of agriculture, manufacturing, energy, ICT, and tourism, the very sectors powering Africa's industry future. Number two, governance remained fragmented with overlapping mandates across ministries and weak coordination between education, labor, and industry. Number three, financing remained insufficient and unsustainable, with public investment averaging less than 2% of the national education budget in many African countries. Number four, women, rural youth, and informal workers continue to face systemic barriers to quality training. Number five, and that one is critical, TVET has not kept pace with the twin revolution of digitalization and climate action, despite their centrality to the African Union Agenda 2063. We cannot industrialize without skilled hands. We cannot innovate without skilled minds. And we cannot achieve the Africa we want without a workforce that is alert, adaptive, and future ready. What is the vision and the mission of the strategy? This strategy is anchored in the African Union 2063 vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens. Its mission is very clear: to cultivate a globally competitive, innovative, and inclusive African workforce equipped with technical, entrepreneurial, and green skills needed to power industrialization, drive sustainable development, and create decent jobs for all. At its core, this strategy reflects the African Union's conviction that Africa's wealth lies in the talent and ingenuity of its people. What makes this strategy different is that the continental TVET strategy marks a kind of paradigm shift from training for employment to empowering for enterprise, from isolated interventions to integrated ecosystems, from certificate to competence that matter in real economies. It champions four transformative imperatives. Number one, inclusion and equity, ensuring TVET reaches women, youth from rural areas, persons with disabilities, and those in the informal economy, recognizing that domestic work, artisanal crafts, and agro-processing are dignified professions deserving of formal recognition and support. Number two, innovation and entrepreneurship. Embedding creativity, design thinking, and intellectual property literacy into curricula so that every TVET graduate sees themselves not as able job seekers, indeed they are able, but also as able job creator, as the minister rightly highlighted in her speech. Number three, digital and green skills, preparing learners for the job of tomorrow, renewable energy technicians, artificial intelligence augmented artisans, circular economy specialists, and climate resilient farmers. Number four, validation of informal learning, formalizing the vast reservoir of skills in Africa's informal sector, where over 80% of youth acquire their first trade through recognition of prior learning and portable certifications. The strategic focus and foundation pillars of the strategy. Number one, the strategy advances two interconnected goals, actually three. Number one is to guide member states in developing and implementing transformative, demand-driven, high-quality national TVET policy and systems. Number two, to guide the African Union and its institutions and organs, regional economic communities, regional mechanisms, outer NEPAD and partners in implementing the strategy. Number three, to strengthen coherence through harmonized standards, mutual recognition of qualifications, and regional mobility. Three principles guide this transformation. Number one, alignment and relevance, ensuring TVET strategy aligns with development strategies and socio-economic policies for maximum impact and coherence. Number two, excellence with values, promoting high quality, ethical, and value-driven TVET program that meet international standard and local needs. Number three, co-creation and partnership by building strong partnership from co-creation and knowledge sharing in TVET across all stakeholders and sectors. To achieve the intended objectives of the strategy, we stand on four foundation pillars. Number one, policy, governance, and sustainable finance by establishing unified national TVET authorities. Some countries already have, some others not. Leveraging on innovative financing, industry levies, public-private partnership, and result-based funding is some of the projects like eStrip have been focusing on. Number two, quality, relevance, and inclusion. It's embedded occupation standard co-developed with industry to scale up work-based learning in partnership and knowledge sharing, institutionalize industry advisory board in every flagship TVET institute, promote regional collaboration such as the harmonized TVET qualification framework that the East Africa has already developed under eStrip and which enables mutual recognition of more than 200 qualifications today. Number four, institutional capacity, technology, and innovation. Our TVET institutions are supposed to be equipped as a center of excellence. By doing so, we shall enable them to accelerate digital transformation, embracing e-learning, smart classroom, and artificial intelligence-enabled career guidance. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there is a call for collective action to implement this strategy. This transformation cannot be led by government alone. It demands a new social contract for skills. To our member states, you are requested to integrate this strategy into national development plans and protect TVET budget as social investment, not really as expenditure. To the private and productive sector, move beyond your corporate social responsibility to strategic co-ownership, fund training, host apprenticeships, co-design curricula, and hire TVET graduates from Africa. To development partners, align support behind country-owned systems and avoid duplication to focus on building sustainability. To our Africa's youth and women, you are the majority, actually around 80% of the whole population of the African continent. Step forward as innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Your ideas still power Africa's factories, farms, and digital platforms. As I conclude, Your Excellency, the Continental TVET Strategy 2025-2034 is a promise that no young person will be left behind because they choose a technical path. A promise that African industries will find the skilled talent they need at home, ending the paradox of unemployment amid skills shortages. And a promise that Africa will adapt to the future of work and most probably shape it if the member states take ownership of the implementation of this strategy. Let this second edition of Africa Skills Week be remembered beyond its declarations. Let us leave Addis Ababa in the next 4 days with a clear idea on our national roadmaps, industry commitments, and the youth pledge to turn this strategy into reality. Because when we invest in the hands that build, the minds that innovate, and the dreams of Africa youth today, we prepare for and create the future at the same time, and the future is industrial, innovative, inclusive, and sustainable. And the future, that future I talk about has a name, and its name is the Africa we want, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Professor Gaspar Banyan Kimbona. Merci beaucoup. Murakoze Chani. His Excellency is the Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology, and Innovation at the African Union Commission. Now we'll have a video message, and the video message is from Her Excellency Nardos Bekele Thomas. She is the CEO of the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD. She couldn't make it here, but she sent a message. Let's watch that, and we'll be right back.
Your Excellency Taye Atsaga-Selassie, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Ali Yusuf Mohamud, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Mufiriyat Kamil Ahmed, Minister of Labor and Skills of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, senior government officials, heads of agencies and higher learning institutions present, industry leaders, our youth and women innovators. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry I couldn't join you in person. However, my spirit is with you in Addis Ababa, a city where the winds of Africa's ambition have never stopped blowing. It is an honor to welcome you to Africa Skills Week 2025, a gathering not of spectators, but of change makers, bridge builders, and believers in the African dream. Let me begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia for graciously hosting us, and to the African Union Commission for its steadfast leadership in this shared mission, together with its premier development agency, our agency, the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa is at a turning point, and we are meeting at a defining moment, not just for Africa, but for humanity. The first 2 decades of the century, as you know, gave us hope. Economic growth reached 5.4%, human development improved, and the world began to recognize Africa's rise. But behind the numbers, the poverty gap stood firm. 48.5% of our people still lived in poverty by 2020. Why? Because the model was never designed for us to win. We relied too heavily on raw materials, on external markets, and on a development path that was never truly ours. Now we find ourselves standing between recurring global shocks and a persistent struggle to merely manage poverty. It's time to stop managing poverty and start engineering prosperity. It's time to stop complying with the broken system and start reimagining our own. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa's greatest asset is our people. By 2035, our working age population will exceed 1 billion people. This is not a burden. This is power. That's not a challenge. It is Africa's superpower, but only if we equip our youth with the skills that matter. Not just degrees on paper, not just certificates on a wall, but skills that can build, make, fix, grow, and innovate. Last month in Lusaka, Zambia, we launched the inaugural Industrial Skills Week Africa. Its message was loud and clear. If we want to power Africa's future, we must skill for it. If we want to unlock Africa's potential, we must train differently, think boldly, and act collectively. We identified 4 transformational shifts. Let me be clear, the future will not wait, and so we must shift urgently and unapologetically. First, from qualifications to competencies. Our learners must be ready to work, to create, and to solve. On the factory floor, in tech hubs, on the farm, in control rooms, equipped with competency-based learning, micro-credentials, and skills passports. This is how we build agility, not bureaucracy. Second, from supply-driven to demand-led systems. We must put industry in the driver's seat. Co-design the standards, co-deliver the training, co-assess the skill. And apprenticeships and dual training must become the norm, not the exception. Third, from fragmented data to shared intelligence. We cannot manage what we do not measure. Skills forecasting, labor market insights, data that talks to each other are the backbone of any smart skills economy. And fourth, from extraction to beneficiation. Let me say this again. For every policymaker and every part, Africa must no longer export its wealth. The world wants our lithium, our cobalt, our rare earth. But we must not be content to dig and ship. We must process, we must manufacture, we must refine and export value, not just volume. This is how we create decent jobs, build sovereign industries, and claim our rightful place in global supply chain. Let me now lay out the Lusaka 4 concrete proposals for skills revolution, our blueprint for transformation. The first one is country industrial skills compacts, country-led agreements aligning Tibet reforms and investment to high-value industries, manufacturing, agro-processing, green industries, and the beneficiation of critical minerals. The second is the African Skills Intelligence Partnership, a continental coalition to gather, harmonize, and use real labor market data to guide training, funding, and policy. And the third one is the Industrial Apprenticeship and Dual Training Coalition, which is a public-private partnership where employers commit apprenticeships and investment, and governments guarantee quality and recognition across borders. The fourth is the Skills for Sustainability Accelerator, a focused initiative to train our youth in the skills of the future: clean manufacturing, e-mobility, energy efficiency, waste valorization, etc. Africa must not just survive climate change, we must lead the green transition. The Lusaka Industrial Skills Week for Africa, ladies and gentlemen, also identified 5 accompanying enablers to power this vision, as we will not get there by hope alone. We need to deliver on 5 enablers. The first one is stronger standards, harmonized, credible, and future-oriented. The second one is innovative finance, blending public funding, private capital, and outcome-based models. The third one is built-in inclusion, gender-responsive training, disability access, safe learning environments, etc. And the fourth one is SME empowerment. Help small businesses host apprentices and grow up the value chain. And the fifth one is digital and AI readiness. From coding to quality assurance, the future is digital, and we must be ready. This must not be just another conference. Africa Skills Week 2025 must not end with applause. It must end with commitments, with funding decisions, with new coalitions, signed compacts, and clear timelines. At the African Union Development Agency, your premier development agency, we will convene the right actors, de-risk innovation, and scale what works, mobilize financing, and above all, hold ourselves accountable to impact, not by how many sessions we host, but by how many young Africans we help place in decent, productive jobs. Excellencies, distinguished guests, Africa's time is not coming. It is now. It is today. Africa's future will not be mined. It will be built by our youth with their hands, their minds, and their unstoppable spirit. Let us stop managing survival. Let's start architecting prosperity. Let us no longer be participants in someone else's value chain. Let us be owners of our own. I strongly urge that from this moment forward, with Industrial Skills Week Africa, to maximize impact and strengthen our continental movement for skills, jobs, and industry. Together we can shift the course of our continent, from poverty to productivity, from potential to power, from extraction to transformation. Let's build a future worthy of our people and of the generations to come. I thank you.
We thank Her Excellency Nardos Bekele Thomas, CEO of AUDA NEPAD, for taking her time to send us the message via video. So now we'll take a few minutes to hear from our partner countries, and I will invite Ambassador Canadian to the AU, His Excellency Ben Marc Diendre, to give us his statement and his commitment. Let's welcome him. So, please.
Good morning, everybody. Excellencies, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, all protocol observed, ministers. It's a great honor to join you today in Addis Ababa for the second edition of Africa Skills Week 2025. This gathering marks our collective engagement to unlock Africa's immense potential through skills development, innovation, and inclusive growth. We are here only to celebrate progress, but to confront challenges and accelerate actions. The theme of this week is very important. Canada is proud to stand with the African Union and its member states on its effort. We recognize the resilient education system, especially in technical and vocational education, are essential to achieving Agenda 2063 and driving economic transformation. That's why last year, Canada announced a doubling of its support to African Union Commission, including 10 million dedicated to education and TVET. This support is helping to harmonize policies, strengthening teacher training, and develop inclusive curricula aligned with the labor market needs and emerging sectors. It's also aligned with Canada's first ever Africa strategy, launched this year, in which we commit to deepening and broadening our engagement with Africa across 5 strategic areas, one of which focuses especially on youth empowerment, poverty reduction, and economic development through investment and skill training. Canada has a long history of supporting skills in employment and TVET. We collaborate with African partners to strengthening training system using competency-based approaches, gender transformative programming, and private sector linkage, ensuring that women, youth, and marginalized groups are empowered to thrive. While 10 to 12 million African youth enter the workforce each year, only about 3 million formal jobs are created, leaving vast numbers of youth unemployed or facing irregular and informal employment. The challenge before us is clear. We must convert Africa's demographic dividend into a productive, inclusive, and globally competitive workforce. Let us seize the moment to build a future where every young African has a skill, opportunity, and support to shape the continent's industrial transformation. And let us ensure those skills are resilient and forward-looking, empowering Africans to lead in the energy transition, harness digitalization, and responsibly deploy artificial intelligence. Canada stands ready to work with all of you to co-create solutions to equip Africa's youth, not just to participate in their respective economies, but to transform them. And I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Merci beaucoup. Now we'll hear statement and commitment from our other partner, EU to AU. So I will invite Ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador Javier Nino Perez. He is the Ambassador of the European Union to the African Union.
Good morning, everybody. Chairperson, Commissioner, Ministers, Director, friends, ladies and gentlemen, truly an honor and a privilege to be here today representing the European Union. Let me first of all congratulate warmly the Chairperson of the African Union Commission and the Commissioner for this fantastically inspiring Skills Week. This is only a testimony of the incredible work that the African Union Commission has been doing over the last few years in the field of education, and a partnership of which we're incredibly proud as we work very closely with the African Union Commission and all of you African Union member states. My dear friend and brother Mark explained to you the magnitude of the problems that you're very familiar with. We have a formidable challenge in front of us. The EU stands ready to work with you in a spirit of dialogue, of respect and cooperation, in a partnership that is politically and financially incredibly significant. Let me just recall We've been discussing investments. The latest figures of the United Nations Commission for Trade and Development point to the fact that the EU's investment stock in this continent is 6 times higher than anyone else's, and this is because of one simple reason, because we believe strongly in the potential of this continent. Today is about skills. I just want to flag a couple of examples of the many, many actions we implement together with the African Union Commission, with African countries. Let me, for instance, mention the Skills Initiative for Africa, which we're implementing in close cooperation with AUDA NEPAD, led by my dear sister Nardos Bekele Thomas, with KfW, with JIC, with our German friends. This is a partnership that works on 25 different countries in Africa, including my sister Nonseba's beautiful South Africa, to create skills, to give skills to young people so that we can work, find jobs on TVET. Let me also mention the Africa Continental Qualification Framework. This is basically about enabling African young people from countries to be able to go to other countries and work there. This is part of a flagship initiative by the EU called the Youth Mobility Initiative of 1 billion euros. All this is done, as you know, in close cooperation with the private sector. The private sector plays a critical role in this context. We also have programs that integrate that private sector. Let me also mention the operational driven skills that we implement in Africa on VAT, together with Belgium, with Germany, with Finland, and with France. And this is about something my dear sister Nardos mentioned. This is about investment, but mostly create jobs related to value chains in Africa, not in Europe. Let me just conclude, Chairperson, Minister, all of you, but once again, I return to committing to work very closely with Africa. In a few weeks, our heads of state of government will get together in Luanda, in Angola, for the 7th EU-AU partnership. We go there in a spirit of cooperation, of dialogue, and always keeping in mind the value of our partnership, where we listen to each other, where we learn to each other, and where we build together. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Next will be His Excellency Ambassador Tsutomu Nakagawa. Tsutomu Nakagawa, Ambassador of Japan to the African Union. Let's welcome him, please.
Good morning, and Your Excellency, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency, Muhammad Hamir Ahmed, Minister of Labor and Skills of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, all ministers and ambassadors, and distinguished guests. It is a great honor of me to participate in the second Africa Skill Weeks here at the historic Nelson Mandela Hall. First, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Your Excellency, Gaspard Banyankimbona, the Commissioner for ST. Your tireless efforts in implementing the continental Tibet strategy are commendable and crucial for achieving skills for the industrialization of Africa. In the tradition of TICAD, Tokyo International Conference for African Development, which goes back to 30 years, Japan always prioritized African ownership and international partnership, focusing on human security by investing in people's capabilities. A shining example of Japan's cooperation is the Senegal-Japan Vocational Training Center, CFPT, a symbol of our cooperation in West Africa. Established in 1984, CFPT has trained over 7,000 mid-level technicians with an 84% employment rate, serving as a regional hub for 17 neighboring African countries. Another proud collaboration is Kaizen, a Japanese philosophy for quality and productivity improvement. Starting in Tunisia, it has expanded to 41 African countries, improving productivity for approximately 2,000 companies and nurturing 38,000 industrial human resources in the last 3 years. Public-private cooperation is also very essential. Japanese private company like Toyota also contributes with the Toyota Academy in Kenya, offering technical training and employment opportunities to over 7,000 young people and women. Ladies and gentlemen, at the TICAD 9 that was held 2 months ago in Yokohama, Japan committed to developing 300,000 African people over the next 3 years. Notably, 30,000 individuals will be trained in AI and data science, empowering Africa's youth for digital transformation. This underscores Japan's trust and investment in Africa as a new global growth center. Here in Ethiopia, JICA, in partnership with the government and universities, launched a digital human resource development program in 2024. This program has already trained 5,000 digital professionals, half of whom are women, addressing youth unemployment and fostering innovation. We will continue supporting equal access to quality skills development for all. Japan also committed to promote people-to-people exchange program between Africa and Japan, focusing on youth and women. We strongly believe in the future of Africa. Nothing will stop Africa to growing with the power of youth. Japan will work together. Japan will wish to grow together. Japan wish to remain your most reliable partner. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Ambassador Nakagawa. Domo arigato gozaimasu. And next we'll hear from Germany. So I'll invite His Excellency David Gudisch, his Charge d'Affaires Germany Embassy to the African Union.
Your Excellency, Chairperson Ali Yusuf Mohammed, Your Excellency, Minister Muferehat Kamil Ahmed, Your Excellency, Commissioner Professor Gaspard Banyankibona, Honorable Ministers, State Ministers, Ambassadors, distinguished delegates, and most important of all, youth of Africa, good morning to all of you. Allow me first to thank the government of Ethiopia and the African Union Commission for hosting this inspiring gathering. It is both an honor and a privilege for Germany to stand with you here at Africa Skills Week 2025, united by a shared belief in the power of skills, innovation, and partnership to shape the Africa of tomorrow. We meet at a defining moment. The world around us is changing rapidly, shaped by technology, the green transition, and global shifts that call for new thinking and new capacities. Yet amid this change, Africa holds something truly remarkable, a generation whose energy, creativity, and determination can transform challenge into opportunity. Germany has long believed that investing in people, in their education, in their skills, in their ideas, is the foundation of every nation's progress. Skills development is not simply a technical pursuit. It is a pathway to dignity, to inclusion, and to shared prosperity. That is why we have stood shoulder to shoulder with the African Union in advancing a continental vision for education and training. Together, we have helped to shape the continental strategy for technical and vocational education and training, which now guides the transformation of skills system across Africa. But strategies alone will not bring about the change we need. It is action that counts. Our joint efforts have put in place the fundamental building blocks to see this strategy translated into action to promote the skills transformation agenda. Furthermore, Africa Skills Week stands as a living symbol of that action, a space where governments, educators, the private sectors, and young leaders come together to turn vision into progress. Our shared goal is clear: to equip Africa's young people with the skills that create opportunity, build resilience, and strengthen communities. To ensure that no one, not a single young woman, not a single rural learner, not a single displaced youth is left behind. And our goal is to deepen the partnerships that make this possible, partnerships grounded in trust, equality, and mutual respect. Germany remains fully committed to this journey, not as a benefactor, but as a partner. We will continue to support African institutions, governments, and innovators as they shape solutions that are locally owned and globally relevant. The story of Africa's rise will not be written elsewhere. It will be written here by its own people. And it will be a story of cooperation, courage, and creativity. As Agenda 2063 reminds us, Africa's destiny will be determined by a well-educated and skilled citizenry. Let us make this week a moment when ideas become commitments, and commitments become the building blocks of a prosperous, peaceful, and sustainable Africa. Germany is proud to walk this path with you as a friend, as a partner, and as a firm believer in the promise of Africa's youth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Ambassador David Gudish. Vielen Dank. And next, I will call upon His Excellency Zhang Wei. He is Chargé d'Affaires at Mission of China to the African Union.
Your Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the AUC. Your Excellency Professor Gaspard Bayin Kimbona, Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology, and Innovation of AUC. Your Excellency Mufarrihat Kamil Ahmed, Minister of Labor and Skills of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great honor to attend the opening ceremony of the second edition of Africa Skills Week. On behalf of the Mission of the People's Republic of China to the African Union, I would like to extend my warmest congratulations on the convening of this important event. The world today is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century. TVET is closely linked to economic and social development. Africa Skills Week is a timely and forward-looking initiative of the African Union and its member states to respond to those global changes. I believe the African Continental TVET Strategy 2025-34, represented by Commissioner, will chart the course for Africa's future TVET development. As a reliable friend and sincere partner of the African people, China attaches great importance to supporting Africa's industrialization and independent development through TVET cooperation. In 2023, Chinese President Xi Jinping announced the plan for China-Africa cooperation on talent development, under which China promised to train 500 principals and high-caliber teachers on vocational colleges, and 10,000 technical personnel with both Chinese language and vocational skills for Africa every year, and invite 20,000 government officials and professionals annually from African countries to participate in relevant workshops and seminars in China. Over the years, within the framework of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, China and Africa have jointly implemented the Future of Africa, a project for China-Africa cooperation on vocational education, co-established Luban workshops and centers for Chinese language and professional skills, implemented Chinese language plus vocational skills projects, and co-organized teacher training and skills competition. These efforts have helped Africa train over 300,000 practical professionals across 17 key sectors, contributing solid human resource support to Africa's modernization process. In the last 2 days, the Global Leaders Meeting on Women was successfully held in China. In his keynote address to the opening ceremony, Chinese President Xi Jinping announced new measures China will take to support global women's cause, including the establishment of a global center for women's capacity building. Tomorrow afternoon, the mission of China and the AUC will co-host a seminar titled China-Africa Cooperation on Supporting African Continent TVET Strategy 2025-34. You are warmly welcomed to attend. Looking ahead, China stands ready to work hand in hand with the EU and African countries to further deepen cooperation on education and skills development, help more young Africans master the golden key to employment, and contribute to realizing the grand vision of Agenda 2063. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Zhang Wei. Okay. Thank you, our partners, for your statements and for your commitment. Other stakeholders and strategic partners in the Africa Skills Week 2025 include the African Union member states, GIZ, the International Labour Organization, UNESCO, and UNHCR. Thank you all. Now we go to the keynote address, and our keynote address is Transforming Africa's Future, and it will be delivered by His Excellency Ali Yusuf Mohammed, Chairperson of the African Union Commission. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Excellence, Madame Mouferihat Kamil Ahmed, Ministre du Travail et des Compétences de la République fédérale et démocratique d'Éthiopie, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les ambassadeurs, Excellences, Monsieur le commissaire chargé de l'éducation, des sciences et des technologies, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, jeunes Africains. Je vous souhaite à tous la bienvenue à l'Union africaine pour le lancement de cette seconde édition de la Semaine des compétences 2025. D'emblée, j'aimerais adresser nos vifs remerciements au gouvernement et au peuple éthiopien pour la coordination de cet important événement. La jeunesse africaine saura l'apprécier à sa juste valeur. Cette rencontre annuelle est l'expression de notre détermination commune à insuffler une dynamique nouvelle à la montée en puissance de la jeunesse africaine. La révolution des compétences représente le gage d'un développement durable sur le continent. Nous le savons tous, la jeunesse sur notre continent représente 65% de nos populations. Le continent regorge de ressources naturelles de terres arables et d'un potentiel immense pour enclencher une industrialisation inclusive et une croissance durable. Il nous faut reconnaître la centralité du développement des compétences. C'est pourquoi la Commission de l'Union africaine a établi la Semaine africaine des compétences. Your Excellencies, this platform is designed to strengthen the continent's human capital foundation for inclusive growth and innovation. The urgency of skilling our youth cannot be overstated. We must convert our demographic dividend into a productive, inclusive, and globally competitive workforce. This is why the African Union has placed skills at the heart of Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. Skills development is central, not only to inclusive growth and decent jobs, but also to the realization of the African continental free trade area, the second 10-year implementation plan, and the continental TVET strategy. These strategies converge on a single truth. Africa cannot industrialize without investing in its people. The second edition of Africa Skills Week is convened to specifically mobilize stakeholder action and accountability in implementing the continental strategy. This continental strategy for sustainable development 2025-2034, whose launch we celebrate today, provides us with a clear continental framework to transform training systems. It is a bold call to action for member states, partners, and industries to work together to align national reforms with continental aspirations. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative to take the following key actions: harnessing transformative potential of artificial intelligence as a cross-cutting accelerator to drive smarter, faster, and more inclusive outcomes. Strengthen policy coherence and regional integration. Advance regional cooperation frameworks. Accelerate the implementation of the continental strategy for sustainable development. Enhance high-quality and inclusive skills system, and foster robust partnerships and knowledge sharing. Finally, sustain momentum from the AU Year of Education. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we do not walk this journey alone. Our partnerships with governments, development partners, academia, civil society, and above all, the private sector are vital. This second edition of Africa Skills Week 2025 should not only serve as a platform for dialogue, but also as a launchpad for concrete commitments, measurable progress, and bold continental action. In closing, I call upon all of us here to rise to the challenge. We must appreciate the potential of skills to shape a new African destiny, one where our youth are empowered, our industries are thriving, and our continent stands tall as a global force of innovation, growth, and sustainable development. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Ali Yusuf Mahmoud, Chairperson of the African Union Commission. Merci beaucoup. So we're almost done with the official opening of the second edition of the Africa Skills Week 2025. That's taking place here at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. We are now ready to launch the continental TVET strategy. So, Your Excellency, please, let's proceed with the next one. All right, so to launch the strategic document, I will once again invite His Excellency Ali Yusuf Mahmoud to officially launch the document, Continental TVET Strategy. So it's part of the Africa Union's Agenda 2063 and the second 10-year implementation plan. And we are now officially adopting and launching the Continental TVET Strategy 2025 to 2034. So it's officially launched. Thank you very much and congratulations. Yes. Up there, right? Over there? Okay. All right. So now our Excellencies, distinguished guests, it's time to take a group picture. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let's remain in this hall while our Excellencies, ministers, state ministers, heads of agencies, our ambassadors, guests of honors to be ushered to the front, the Nelson Mandela Hall front, to take a group photo, to capture this moment. It's very historic, and we would like to capture this so that our children and grandchildren will see this when they tell the story of Africa's journey.